The former president of the United States, Donald Trump, is demonstrably and objectively a racist, sexist, lecherous, fascist, sociopath and pathological liar who has dehumanized his political opponents, who's called his political opponents vermin, who has called immigrants, undocumented immigrants into this country, not people.
Well, we are on Piers Morgan Uncensored today, and he has got Dennis Prager on the right there, and Reza Aslan, who is an Iranian-American scholar. I think he's a scholar in religious studies or something like that. And I've seen him before. I haven't seen him recently, but I have seen him in the past on Fox News segments and things like that. You know, where he's usually getting worked up about something. As you can see, he's all worked up about Donald Trump. This is before the election, so this was earlier in 2024. But, you know, I always like to go back and see what these types have to say. And God knows, I would love to see what he's commenting today. Because today, as I record this, it is the inauguration, January 20th, 2025. So let's get into it with Reza Aslan and Dennis Prager on the Piers Morgan Uncensored show.
And in 2019, you tweeted this about Donald Trump, who's now, of course, the Republican nominee again to be president. The president's a white nationalist terror leader. His supporters, all of them, are by definition white nationalist terror supporters. The
That's
MAGA
right.
hat is a KKK hood, and his evil racist scourge must be eradicated from society.
Well, you know, you got to hand it to the guy. He lays it out the way he thinks. There's no longer any. So this was August 4th, 2019. Don't know what happened that day, but the president is a white nationalist terror leader. Ooh, and he just was re-inaugurated today. His supporters, all of them, any of you listening, that includes you, I'm sure some of you, are by definition white nationalist terror supporters. Okay, let's see where this goes.
I mean, on reflection, do you regret that tweet?
You know, first of all, let me say, I regret every tweet I've ever made, which is why I've given up on Twitter for now 14 months. Twitter is a cesspool, and I wish I had never been on it.
The tweet is a cesspool.
The
Twitter is
president
not
of
a
the
cesspool.
United States.
Your tweet was a cesspool.
Twitter is a cesspool as far as I'm concerned. But let me just make one thing clear.
Your tweet was a cesspool.
The president of the United States, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, is demonstrably and objectively a racist, sexist, lecherous, fascist, sociopath and pathological liar who has dehumanized his political opponents, who's called his political opponents vermin, who has called immigrants, undocumented immigrants into this country, not people, and who has literally quoted Hitler. Hitler, Mr. Prager, literally quoted Hitler by talking about the poisoning of the blood of our nation. His followers, his MAGA followers, have made it very clear, objectively so, that their loyalty is not to the Constitution or to the democracy of this country, but to
Reza,
this
you're
man,
calling
this
effectively
almost cult
calling.
leader.
I mean, nearly 80 million people voted for Trump in 2020. That was nearly 10 million more than voted for him in 2016. So a lot of people in America vehemently disagree with you. Are you really saying, as you said in that tweet,
there's a lot of reasons to vote for Donald.
Are you really saying that 80 million Americans are white nationalist terror supporters?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking
The
about
tweet
the
said it.
MAGA, his MAGA.
You said his supporters,
No,
all
I'm
of them.
talking
Yes,
about
you said it.
all of
You've
them.
asked me a question. You've asked me.
Right,
You've
but
asked
his
me a
supporters.
question. I'm trying to answer it.
Okay, let me be accurate.
I'm
You said
trying
his
to
supporters, all of them, are by definition white nationalist terror supporters.
I should have said his MAGA supporters. We have a better term for it now than we did in 2019. That's who I was referring to, and that I 100% stand by. If you support a racist, you are a racist. You support racism. If you support a fascist, you support fascism. This is not complicated.
But aren't you using? I will come, Dennis. I'll come to Dennis in one moment. I'm just curious, Reza, because you really were very reactionary when you thought Dennis was basically calling Palestinians as a group, inferring that they were all to blame for what's happening over there.
Yeah, that they
and
were
yet
all
you were,
terrorists,
and yet you
killing-
were, and yet you
killing-
were very quick to blame all Trump supporters and brandish them in the same way. Isn't there
Again-
an inconsistency there?
First of all, I'm not talking about Trump supporters as slaughtering innocent people, but I am making it very clear, and I don't apologize.
Well, you said white
for
nationalist
this
terror
fact.
supporters. I mean,
Donald Trump is a white nationalist. He is a supporter of white national terrorism, which is why he wants to completely forgive and pardon all of the J6 supporters who are in prison for insurrection and for violently attacking police officers.
Oh, here we go. It always comes back to J6 with these guys. Of course, because what a terrorist attack. That was a terrorist attack and an insurrection, an attack against democracy, the gravest threat to American democracy ever. And as one idiot, Sonny Hostin on The View, said, it was worse than World War II, worse than the Holocaust. What else did she say? Yeah, so this guy looks like, Reza Azan looks like he's kind of, he's in the same intellectual vein as Sonny Hostin on The View.
He is
Okay.
repeatedly
I'd like
use
to
rhetoric in order
Dennis,
to support. And
Yeah, we're being
his
bombarded
followers,
by
very
barrage
much
of lies.
agree with those viewpoints.
all right, let Dennis respond.
Okay.
So
First of all, he's not
Simple as
he's
that.
not a racist. Okay, he's not a racist. He's not a white nationalist.
not a
He's not a
racist.
neo-Nazi. He is not a racist. That is
He's
correct.
not a white
He couldn't care
nationalist.
less
Okay.
about race. That is correct. He is not. The charges are despicable. The man was president for 4 years. The country was way freer in terms of freedom of speech, the most important freedom of all, than under Joe Biden and the Democrats. The man governed for 4 years. Did America become fascist? This is a gigantic lie, and that is the reason
let me
I
ask you,
say
Mr. Prager,
every
if,
day on my
if
show.
President Biden called you vermin, how would you think about that? What does it mean when you call your political opponents vermin?
Yes. He didn't call all his political opponents vermin. And by the way,
No. He said Marxist, communist, the people on the left, vermin. Explain that to me. Explain that to me.
So fine, I'll explain it. The left wishes to destroy Western civilization, not liberals and not conservatives.
Oh, we do.
The
That's
left-
right. We
yes,
want to
you do.
destroy
That is
Western
correct, you do.
civilization.
Wow, Dennis Prager being based here. Yes, I agree 100%. The leftists basically do want to destroy Western civilization. They say they don't. They say they're being progressive. They want to be inclusive and make things better for their utopia. And utopia is just another carbon tax away. And we're getting there. I mean, just look at the utopias in American cities run by people who are very strongly entrenched in their idealistic and leftist and liberal and progressive beliefs. Utopia is almost there.
You're the
Everyone.
people. So let me ask you something.
That's my goal.
I'll just give you one little thing.
When this conversation's over, I'm going to continue my process of destroying Western civilization as you know it.
Do you believe that there are two sexes or more than two sexes?
I believe that gender is what a person wants it to be.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
I believe
That's
that people have the
destruction
ability
of
to
truth
decide.
and civilization. Okay, good. You're
Really?
on.
How many genders
Good.
are
I
in the
got you to
Bible? How
admit
many
it.
genders are in the
It's a
Bible,
sick-
Mr.
it is
Prager?
a true. What about the Bible? What
How
about
many
the
genders
Bible?
are in the Bible?
Two. And God
No, I mean,
created
will you
Adam,
tell me, where is
male
the-
and female. He created them. I'll quote it to you in Hebrew if you want.
6.
You don't know what you're
6.
talking about. There are
The
two
Talmud.
genders.
The Talmud.
The Talmud is not the
No.
Bible.
The Talmud
is
says
not
there
the
are
Bible.
6.
For religious scholars, cousin, even I know the Talmud is not the Bible. Maybe if there's any of you who are listening to this are Jewish, you can explain. But as far as I know, the Talmud is like a huge collection of religious debates or debates between rabbis or religious, rabbis, I guess, talking about all sorts of crazy things, crazy things and less crazy things. So basically having debates on all sorts of things to do with religion, but certainly not the Bible. It's not the Old Testament or the Torah, which, God, the Torah is what, the first 5 books of the Bible, of the Old Testament. So I'm very surprised this guy, who's supposed to be a religious scholar, would say something like that.
6
You may
genders.
not know the difference.
You're talking
You
to an
asked
actual
about the
scholar
Bible.
of the Bible.
Yeah, I am a scholar of the Bible. I have a 5-volume commentary on the Torah out. You should read it.
Okay,
It would
I'm
help
sorry.
you
Go
grow
ahead. How
confidence.
am I going to destroy Western civilization when I'm done here? Keep going.
Okay, well, one of the ways is by denying that male and female are the only two sexes, giving children hormone blockers, which has now been stopped in Britain, by the way, and only Americans like you support. This is unbelievably destructive. The idea that truth is relative to the individual, that there is no objective good and evil, that we do not get our rights from the supreme a supreme being. These are all left-wing positions.
Absolutely right. Dennis Prager, absolutely nailing it here. I'm 100% on board. I can't say that I follow Dennis Prager. I've seen him speaking from time to time, seen videos of him. And yeah, I mean, apart from, yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about him to you know, to make any sort of, give any sort of commentary or any sort of judgment about him, but certainly what he's saying here, I agree with 100%. That is exactly, by denying and inverting the good, the beautiful, and the true, leftists absolutely are destroying Western civilization. Those are the basis of Western civilization. And yeah, of course, they don't think they're destroying it. They think they're making progress and improvement and heading towards that utopia. But no, in doing so, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, as they say. You know, if they're good intentions, now I think there are plenty of actors out there who have very nefarious intentions, but even the ones who have good intentions, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And they are leading us absolutely to hell. Now, if you think I'm just going overboard here, let me know in the comments. I'd be very happy to hear what you have to say. Keep it respectful. I'm always happy to engage in debate with anybody, as long as it's not some Reddit tea or snarky type thing. But feel free to agree, disagree, or let me know where I'm wrong. In the meantime, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.